Corporation, Howard Ham.
We call that 4. That's a 6. That's an even number. Give it to teacher. Jamestown, new prisoner on the block. Jeremy, back on over here.
Welcome back to Dietrich Park for the bottom of the third inning of action with your Elmira Pioneers ahead of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks 3-0. I'm Farrell Hudson on the Elmira Pioneers Baseball Network. Just want to extend an additional apology for any technical difficulties that may have been experienced on this end due to the climate and the heat that has occurred here in the press box of Russell E. Dietrich Park. We've had a couple equipment malfunctions. Don't want to use that as a good enough excuse, but in case you're wondering what has hindered your ability to watch for the last inning and a half, it has been some of those recurring themes, so we will try and find the best resolution to remedy those issues for the remainder of the summer. For now, it's Garrett Rochon taking the bump for his third full inning of work. Garrett's pitched 2 innings so far of no-run ball, hasn't allowed a Jamestown base runner through the opening 2 frames. Elmira ahead by 3. In the top of the third inning, we'll give you a slight recap. Aiden Grabowski, a double down the left field line, followed by TJ Gramesti grounds to third after Grabowski advanced up to the third base bag. Gramesti got tagged out kind of hard by the first baseman, and Nolan Smith had a couple words on the way by, had to be separated by Pioneers first base coach Brian Joe. The field umpire was sternly having a conversation with Gramesti as well. John Simmons, a sac fly RBI off the bat to deep center, and then Manganiello flew out to the same center field position in Bremner. So 3-0 score for the Pios, and it's the 7-hitter to come to the plate for Jamestown, and Don Costello grounds one to second base. Jacob Moan is an easy play over to Palmer at first. 1 out here in the home half of the third. 3 runs on 6 hits and no errors for the Pioneers. No runs on no hits and no errors for the Tarp Skunks. A relatively clean ball game so far in the day game of this day-night doubleheader. 2 7-inning ball games. Pioneers playing their 4th doubleheader. Very successful so far in doubleheader days. They are 5-1 in 6 games. They've swept 2 of the 3 doubleheaders they've played in this season, including a couple continuation games. 2 games in which they locked down victory against the Geneva Red Wings and the Newark Pilots. Boy, the Geneva Red Wings really reeling so far this season. 1-13 through their opening 14 ball games. And as Ty Lagoni steps to the dish, takes a fastball low and in from Rochon. 1-0 the count. It was Costello who grounded out in the 7-hole. Lagoni in the 8 at the plate now, and Eric Weeks on deck. A 3-2 up for Jamestown here in the home half of the third. Fastball at the letters. Lagoni takes for a called strike 1. So 1-1 the count with the Pios ahead. 3 home half of the third. And the base is empty. Rochon working out of the stretch position, comes set right side of the rubber. Sub-4 ERA for Rochon, making his 4th appearance, shall I say, for the Pioneers on the season. A 1-1 record as he delivers a breaking ball low and inside. 2-1 the count to Lagoni. Lagoni made a nice play at second base to conclude the top of the first. Ranging to his backhand side on the grounder from John Simmons. Next offering from Rochon is a Baltimore chop in foul territory near the third base coaching box. 2-2 the count. As we alluded to previously, Frank Jagoda's squad starting off really hot, 2-0 in their first 2 games, 3-1 in their first 4. Since that 3-1 start, though, they've cooled off considerably, 5-6 in their last 11 ball games. In 5th place right now, a game back of 4th place Niagara, just on the outside looking in the PGCBL Western Division. 2-2 with 1 out, rolled on the ground to the shortstop Grabowski. Comes in a couple steps to his forehand side to throw across the diamond in time for out number 2. So 2 quick outs in the home half of the third. 8 up, 8 down for Garrett Rochon, and that'll bring up Eric Weeks to the plate. So it'll be a 2-1 with 2 outs and the base is empty. Pioneers ahead by 3. Rochon fires and it nails Weeks in the wallet, so that's the first base runner. So Rochon was perfect through 2 2/3. As Roshan will step behind the rubber. Weeks is on first with 2 outs. Weeks only 1 stolen base on the season across 14 ball games. Now it's the catcher Blake Herman to come to the plate. Herman batting .250 on the season. Only 1 start as he spanks it on the line foul. Third base side out of play. Nothing in 1 to count. So it'll be an 0-1 with 2 outs. Here in the home half of the third, Pioneers up by 3 runs. Roshan, a quick spin and fire over to keep Weeks honest at first. Michael Palmer getting the start at first base for the Pioneers. You've seen him assimilated into more ball games recently, and for good reason. Can provide the pop from the left side of the plate. At his first round tripper of the season, a 3-run shot in the bottom of the first versus Auburn Doubledays on Wednesday. Fastball catches the outside corner. Roshan to the right-handed hitting Herman. Nothing into the count with 2 outs. Roshan looking to get his ender and get through 3 scoreless. He'll get a sign for the catcher, Aim Wagner, and comes set right side of the rubber. Medium-sized lead for Weeks, and another check on him over at first. First game of 2 today between the Pios and the Tarp Skunks. We want to thank you for joining us on the Elmira Pioneers Baseball Network. So it'll be an 0-2 with 2 outs. Taking off for second is Weeks, and a dribbler foul by the Pioneers dugout. Count remains 0-2. Roshan steps behind the rubber. He'll get back on. .02 with 2 outs. Fastball misses high and away. 1-2 the count. A high pop-up. Third base side giving it a look as Brendan Hammer just can't make the play as it goes into foul territory. So a nice effort exhibited by the Pios third baseman, but cannot retrieve it. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. So it'll be a 1-2 with 2 outs. Herman rounding out the batting order, batting .250 on the season. Pioneers ahead 3-0, home half of the third. As Roshan comes set right side of the rubber, he'll quick pivot and fire back to first to check on Weeks for the 3rd time in this at-bat. So Weeks not a significant threat to steal, as we alluded to, only 1 stolen base on the season. But Roshan doing his best to keep him away from getting in scoring position. Bit of a shorter ball game, every run thus meaning that much more. Swing and a miss. A beautiful slider over the outside corner for Garrett Roshan, and that does it in the home half of the third for Jamestown. So the first strikeout of the ball game for Garrett. No runs and no hits, no errors, and a runner stranded on base. Let's take it to the 4th. Elmira ahead 3-0 on the Pioneers Baseball Network. 3-0 the Pioneers lead as we head to the top of the fourth inning. It'll be Cooper Smith to step up to the plate, the 5, 6, and 7 in the Elmira order, with the Pios ahead by 3. A 2-run top half of the second for Elmira, followed by 1 run in the top of the third. Smith takes the inside fastball from Christian Pensick. In his fourth inning of work, Pensick has given up 3 runs on 6 hits, all 3 of them earned. In the ball game, Pensick still yet to issue a free pass. 1 strikeout. It came to Grabowski, who struck out to lead off the game in the first. There's a pop-up from Smith to the first baseman, Nolan Smith. So Cooper's retired for out number 1 here in the top of the fourth. So here comes Michael Palmer. Smith with the P3, 1 out and the base is empty. Palmer singled in his first trip to the plate in the top of the second as he rolls 1 foul up against the Pioneers dugout, 0-1. Pensick pitching to a 0.77 ERA across 11 2/3 innings pitched. He's been money all season as Palmer dribbles it. Or doesn't. I thought Palmer got a piece of it with his bat. Apparently didn't at all, and didn't even go around on the swing. So luckily for the Pioneers, the verdict from the field umpire is no swing. 1-1 the count with 1 out. As Pensick comes set, rocks and fires on the right side of the rubber. Spank down the right field line, just foul. Palmer got a great piece. That would have been down the line up against the corner for extra bases. But Mike will come back to the box. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So it'll be a 1-2 from Pensick to Palmer with 1 out. Breaking ball taken low by Mike, 2-2. Two with 1 out. Mike takes the fastball low. A great at-bat being worked by the Elmira, New York native in Palmer. Mike on the season starting to really come around. An extra base hit, 5 hits. As we alluded to, the homer and 6 RBIs, batting .278. Palmer's on-base percentage up to .458 on the season. He'll look to get on again here. Payoff pitch from Pensick is low for ball 4. So Mike's on for the second time of the ball game. He walks. So here in the top of the fourth, 1 on and 1 out for the Pioneers. A 3-run lead, and that'll bring up the righty hitting catcher Carl Wagner, who grounded into a fielder's choice in the top of the second inning, but came around to score for the Pioneers on the base hit off the bat of Brendan Hammer. Manganiello scored on the single from Moniz. Wagner on the single from Hammer. Righty on righty matchup with Palmer off of first. Medium-sized lead with 1 out, and the fastball low and away, taken for ball 1 by Carl. Wagner out of Washington and Jefferson University, the Philadelphia, Pennsylvania native, getting significant time behind the plate for the Pioneers as of recent. Started with a 182 batting average, now on the season up for Wagner. He's at .333 through 5 ball games. A high pop, left side of the diamond. The Brady bunch comes together. That's Marshall and McGuire, and none of them catch the ball. It's Brady Marshall. Now he'll get the force at second, so the most unlucky of outs for the Pioneers. What could they do? Michael Palmer did everything he could there. He saw the pop-up hit. Wasn't going to stray too far off the third base bag. The first base bag. It was the third baseman, Brady McGuire, and the shortstop, Brady Marshall, colliding there. But it was Marshall point to Lugoni, so the play's 6-4, and Palmer's forced at second. Wagner reaches for the second time of the ball game on a fielder's choice, and that'll bring up the righty swinging Jacob Moniz with 2 outs and Elmira ahead by 3. Visitors half of the fourth inning. Moniz squares to bunt, lays it down the third base line, but cutting over is the pitcher in Pensick. A strong fire to first in time to conclude the top of the fourth. For the Pios, no runs on no hits, no errors, and a runner stranded on base. We'll head to the home half. 3-0 Pioneers lead here on the Elmira Pioneers Baseball Network. Welcome back to Jamestown with the Pioneers ahead 3-0 as we enter the home half of the 4th inning. It'll be back to the top of the batting order in Jamestown. For the Tarp Skunks, Nolan Smith followed by Jacob Haynes and Justin Bremner. It's the lefty Smith to stand in against the righty Roshan. Garrett has been phenomenal so far. A strikeout, no hits across 3 innings of work. As Garrett kicks and fires from the right side of the plate, and the fastball misses just low and away. Want to know the count. Pioneers will play a second game against Jamestown following the conclusion of this one at 6:30. We hope you remain with us on the Pioneers Baseball Network for that coverage. Elmira going for win number 5 in a row, 10-5 right now, good enough for first place in the PGCBL Western Division. A half a game ahead of the second place Batavia Muck Dogs.